When a man looks into his past, can he find the moment when the path he chose changed not only his life, but that of an entire community? It's a question we all face, but for one man, this question cuts more deeply. His name is Kelvin Sewell, a former Baltimore City homicide detective. Nearly 5 years ago, he left the Baltimore Police Department to travel to Maryland's Lower Eastern Shore, where he became chief of police of the small town of Pocomoke. For 4 years, he walked the streets and got to know the people. Crime went down. But then he was fired amid allegations of racism. His dismissal revealed a deep divide in the community.
The government here seems to think that they have all the power. The citizens have no say, and whatever they say is going to happen, and we have nothing to say about it. They think they rule and regulate everything in the city.
He's going about policing a different way to make them feel comfortable and tell them that you can change, you can get out of this lifestyle if you want to. And I mean, he's even helped some people to get jobs. I mean, the man he was out there helping people. And he locked them up when they had to, you know, because some people you can try to help, but you can't help everybody.
Sewell filed a lawsuit alleging he was let go for refusing to fire 2 black officers who had filed discrimination complaints against the Worcester County Drug Task Force. The Justice Department joined the suit, but then 6 months later, he was indicted. State prosecutor Emmett Davitt charged him for allegedly interfering in a 2014 accident investigation involving 2 parked cars. After a 1-day trial, Sewell was convicted on 1 count.
My office has the mandate to look at political corruption, election law, and misconduct in office. And that's why we're involved in this case. And we feel whenever it's an abuse of power by a police officer, something needs to be done, people need to be held accountable.
The judge would not allow Sewell to call an expert witness or question the credibility of 2 officers who testified against him, which is where the question about choices and the path where they lead becomes relevant. Because after the trial, Sewell's lawyer appealed, and through that process, documents released by the court tell a story. The documents show the investigation of Sewell didn't start after the accident in 2014, or when someone complained about it, but after he filed discrimination charges against Worcester County and Pocomoke and made a phone call to Davitt's office. In June of 2015, just before Sewell was fired, one of his officers found a note on his car. It said someone had planted drugs on him for filing discrimination complaints. Sewell wanted a drug-sniffing dog to check. The investigator declined to help. But shortly after they hung up, the investigator made a call to several friends working on the Lower Eastern Shore, not to look into Sewell's concerns, but to investigate him. The detective collected rumors about Sewell from a variety of sources. One of them was the Worcester County State's Attorney's Office, who had been the subject of an EEOC complaint filed by Sewell. From there, a sweeping investigation ensued. They examined a car stop involving Sewell after he was fired. They talked to former officers under his command, searching for leads. They scrutinized his relationships with people in the community, one of whom was Jerry Fitch, a former drug suspect who recounted multiple encounters with the police, asking questions about Sewell and if he had had sex with her.
3 sheriffs took me off to the side in a separate room and questioned me, not only about Chief Sewell, but about Lieutenant Green and Officer Savage, if I had had any sexual relationships with them, or if I knew of any crooked things that they were into.
She was asked this again during a visit by the same state investigators in December of 2015, and she answered the questions about her sex life from her jail cell. But Fitch denied the allegations, even though she says she was offered a more lenient sentence.
And what did they say after you said?
Are you sure? I know that was repeated about 5 times, and because one hand can wash the other. That was the main thing that stuck in my head, was that one hand can wash the other.
What did they mean by that?
Because I was going to be charged with possession of CDS. Well, I was subsequently charged with possession of CDS.
Why didn't, I'm wondering, it could have been an easy way out for you. Why didn't you take it?
Because it wasn't true. It wasn't true.
So they came up empty-handed until Worcester County State's Attorney Bo Oglesby's office supplied 4 traffic cases, including the incident that led to Sewell's indictment and conviction, which marked the end of the road for Sewell's career as a cop. We asked Worcester State's Attorney and State Prosecutor Emmett Davitt for comment. They declined. For now, Sewell's appeal to higher court is pending, but for now, the path he chose seems destined to continue to inflict pain upon him, his family, and the community he embraced. This is Teogram and Stephen Janis reporting for the Real News Network in Baltimore City, Maryland. For full disclosure, Stephen Janis wrote a book about policing with Kelvin Sewell.